It's about 5 a.m. We're going through gear. Sam's here, his garage, which is filled with magic tricks. John's over there helping out. Carrie's measuring rope. We're packing up as much stuff as we can to enter Heaps Canyon. It should be fun.
Enter the dungeon.
Here's a prediction for how long it's going to take, because we got no idea. We got packs filled with food and water and wetsuits and ropes and gear. And here's young Max, 13 years old, taking on Heaps. Got Team Carrie and Carrie, working out.
The double K's.
Under the tutelage of the wild man, Sam Edwards. So I think we got about maybe 12 miles to go, roughly. There's going to be a hike of maybe 7, 8, 9 miles, and then we get into the rapping and the serious canyon stuff where you need long ropes and serious gear, and you'd be jumping in and out of things they call potholes, which are like little pits of doom that aren't quite filled with enough water for you to get out of, and the ropes are all, or the sides are all slopey, so hopefully you're able to get out of that. Here we go.
Not taking that invite. Did I invite you?
This is
Why did you not go?
the trail.
Because you told me it was the day before and I had too many things in the
Sam's just talking about mountain biking this trail, and it looks pretty stellar for that. 13 miles gets you down to Zion. Part of the trail is closed due to flooding and avalanche, but that's not the part we're going on, since we're dropping into a slot canyon to get down. So we told John somewhere between 8 and 12 hours, or maybe we'll be stuck here overnight, but
we got matches.
We're thinking that probably won't happen, but you never know. Lightening the load. This is one of the viewpoints on the trail. Good Lord. Would you look at that? Wow. This whole area is so surreal. It is gorgeous, even just for hiking around. So Sam, who's up there on the right, father of Max right in front of me, and I met on a plane to Thailand over the Pacific Ocean, and we're both randomly standing up in the back of the plane stretching our legs, and he'd been talking to a friend of mine who was at the front of the plane about long distance running. So we got into this talk, and he said, "Are you the guy who runs really far?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Oh my God, I need to talk to you," because he wants to do a 100-mile race. And we started to compare notes about various adventures and things that sounded fun to do. And one of the things he mentioned was, "Do you rock climb?" "Yeah." "Have you done much canyoneering?" "No." He says, "I live very close to Zion. I've done a bunch of it. There's a couple things that you would love. The best trip ever." That was a couple years back. So now, here we are, actually doing it. After meeting on a plane over the Pacific Ocean 2 years ago. So, I like people who do stuff. I like people who say yes. I will say yes. Giving me an opportunity to do something, I'm there. So, I'm pretty excited about this whole thing. We got about a 6-mile hike in until the first rappel, where we'll probably grab a bite to eat. And then from there, it'll probably be roping, harnesses here and there. And then the last 3 miles, you're getting into a series of big descents and potholes. So, and then finally finishing up with a 500-foot wrap with a mid-station 200 feet down, and then a 300-foot rappel with a free-hanging descent into a place called the Emerald Pools, where shortly after, hopefully, we'll meet John. We are about an hour and a half in, probably maybe a mile and a half to go to the first rappel, and the place is gorgeous. Just this grassy valley we've dropped into with flowers and kind of ghosted out trees. We're gonna head up to the top of that ridge over there, which is where we'll be dropping down for the first time. So at that point, we'll probably also take in some calories. I think we're making good time. No dilly-dallying, no stops except for one quick picture stop. And so far, I think we're on course. when we first do our first wrap, we're actually about halfway there. That'll be about 2 hours, but then it gets to be complicated and slow. So see how it goes. Just talking about taking a stop. We're a little over 2 hours in, and
We're at the Grand Canyon.
yeah, look at that view. This is tough to beat. So we've had to kind of go down and into a canyon and out of a canyon a couple times, and we've got probably one more to do before we drop in and start doing our first rappelling. So right now, good time to take in some calories. It's been steady. We haven't really had a break yet, so we'll probably take 5 minutes somewhere. But look at this! How do you beat that? For God, look at that. Jeez. Whew. We continue to just go along this. I think when I did my Trans Zion Traverse, we were on this trail. But the V right there might be the canyon we're looking to get out of, Heaps. And the scenery on the trail is sublime. Huh, Carrie? I got a fellow Carrie on the trip.
Obscenely sublime.
Obscenely sublime. That's true. We've just abandoned the trail because Sam, who's done this canyon 4 or 5 times, his spidey senses are telling him that we are getting close to the right spot. So we're gonna head up to the edge so we can take a look at what our descent is like and then make some educated guesses as to where to go down. It'll start getting a little more interesting from here on. By the way, for those who are curious, shooting this on a cell phone today. I don't have a waterproof camera or my usual monopod. So, holding a cell phone, Samsung Galaxy. Yeah, here's the trail right here. S9 Plus. We'll see how it goes. Somewhat water resistant, but I got plastic bags for it to definitely be submerged today multiple times. So, we will see what happens. Sam has just set up our first anchor on this rather spectacular
Harness is on.
piece of rock. Max getting his harness on, and this is what we're dropping down into. So it's a quick readjust. There's a simple ring. The rope goes through once on the ring, and we use that for the next probably 50, 60 feet to go down there. So it starts. I have just come off the first wrap. There's my well-worn belay device there. See the grooves kind of carved in it. And this is what we're coming off right here. So I think the other carry's coming down next. And then we've got waited a bit for Sam. We might start to walk down, get towards the next one, potentially start setting anchor before so we can move efficiently. But here we are. Thank God for today's like today. This is such a treat, just perfect. Good conditions, high adventure in front of us. And we drop down into that bad boy over there, just the narrowest of slot canyons. Gonna be almost no light, and we're gonna be committed, pot committed, and having to go down literally through a bunch of pots to get out. Here comes Carrie dropping in off the top. A little bit technical because of the odd overhang, and he'll kick out and make his way down the rest of it. This is when we're not having to go in wetsuits. We're going to try and get a few of the wraps taken care of by just jumping, so it takes less time. The book said something like 14 to 20 hours over 2 days, but we're going to try and do it in a partial day. Looking good there. Here's a special section. This is significant drop on both sides and working your way across.
Come off the left here, Sam.
How do you like that, huh, Gary?
I like it. It's going to be forever confusing today with 2 carries in the mix. With camera in hand the whole way and feel comfortable, but we will see what it looks like, what it feels like. Exposure. Wind is picking up, which means hat needs to be on properly. That's a fun little one.
Super careful on rocks, okay?
Yeah.
Like, because this part we can get screwed up. And if you ever knock a rock off that's like bigger than a pebble, just yell rock.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Dropping off. There he goes. He's going first because he's not 100% confident the rope's on the bottom yet. So he's got some more rope in the bag just in case. I'm sure we'll hear a yell pretty soon. I think it's going to be close. Might be able to scramble off. What do you think, Max? Your dad half crazy?
A little bit.
3/4?
Yeah.
Blue one.
Yeah.
So that rope ended where he's standing, and there's quite a bit of steep between here
So you can pull the rope.
and the next station.
Bag.
So a lot of this,
I wish I would have pulled out the 200-footer.
yeah,
Yeah.
is a big game of staying one step ahead. The back person pulling the rope, tightening it up, front person setting up the next anchor, so you can make steady, fast progress as you go. That's kind of the name of the game in canyoneering efficiently.
Just pull it good and stuff it in. Yeah, right?
So had a nice little slide, a short slide down, and just pulled a bit of skin off my finger. The most irritating part about it is I got a little blood on my shorts.
Pull those things out, sorry.
So Sam's gone Arabian style to cover his head,
Switch it off a little.
much to the amusement of the rest of the crew.
Very, very far south of Germany mountains.
Continuing down along this slick rock ridge
So the
towards
21st, the solstice,
a little bit of a flatter area, but the terrain,
2 years in a row.
it's amazing. It's nice to have somebody here who's done it a few times, so you know where you're going roughly. This is kind of untouched iron nodules. Nobody's been over them. Walk through them. This is crazy. We are reaching the river bottom. There's a frog over there. There's a little bit of
I take more of your
liquid.
than anybody's, so you know.
Wow, and here we are at the bottom. Where's the frog? There he is. Now he's in the water. He's trying to go all the way down.
Oh my gosh. That's probably,
Oh,
we have a good chance.
these tadpoles are hoping to make it.
They'll bury themselves.
Looks like some raccoon tracks or something.
Yeah.
Found a parasite in, and it is a gnarly little thing.
Let's put him in water. Watch.
Now Sam's deciding he's going to jump in to the first big hole he's looking at. Well,
Deep enough, fellas?
I don't know.
Is that deep enough?
let's see. Good job. Woo! Your dad survived. It's cold?
Oh, it's perfect.
There he goes.
See, this is a step. So, if it doesn't rain for a long time, this will go down 5-10 feet. And
Yeah.
you jump in a narrow canyon, you have to climb out the other side.
Yeah.
But
There's a bunch of bugs in there.
Now you
Like
can
almost
swim
frogs
it.
too.
Oh, some of them have legs.
yeah. Look at that guy, he's just floating there.
We are entering proper slot now, so we're going to start putting wetsuits and stuff on.
I'm gonna go poop back there. Just do it right here. There's rocks right here, Max. You're gonna get just down the rocks and suit up.
Wow. All right, descending down. Point of commitment. This is the most awkward part of the whole thing. Getting your freaking wetsuit on, which we'll have on for the next few hours. So here's what we've just come down. Oh, there is an anchor right there. But of course, we're not using it. We are opting to jump. Then Max is going
Right
first.
over there. All right, okay, I'm jumping. Heads up. Really?
That was a perfect spot. Here goes Carrie. This is normally a rappel. We're saving a bunch of time. Woo! Are you okay?
Yeah. I slipped. It's all right. It wasn't bad. I was more.
Carrie's up there getting ready to come down. We got Max right there, Sam over here, and we are kind of stuck in. This is one of the wraps that too shallow to actually jump, so we're doing the best we can.
Actually, we could probably jump down. We're gonna have to squat a lot. I'll let you guys look at that.
There is a big roadblock. Oh, wow.
We might want to jump into that hole right there and then swim over.
Oh, can you swim through that?
Like that.
Take the plunge first.
First.
If I slip, I'm dead.
It's not what you want to
If I
hear.
slip, I'm gonna go head first. That's my plan. Oh my god. Oh! Oh!
Just kind of like, hey,
Just suicide jump. This is it.
keep on coming. If you want to, it's like that right here. It's wide open.
How did you?
Just kind of like, yeah, there you go. Now just kind of get it, just jump from like that. There you go. Flop it in. Make sure you hold it. Oh!
Guys, jump!
How to look.
I really encourage you guys to jump.
Having an eating break about halfway down to the slot. Max is enjoying grabbing tadpoles and getting cooled off.
I'll grab them right here.
We're going to pack up and keep going
Oh, I lost.
shortly. There he is. You got one. Bring him up. Let's check it out.
These are big.
Look at that bad boy flailing around in there. Wow. That's cool.
A little bit taller than that even.
We have found another sublime wall space where you can see we're all the way through here, and another hiking section where it's beautiful flat sand and the walls, the patterns on the walls are amazing. Both sides, they have been scoured by water during flash floods. So we are just past 3 o'clock. So we've been going since a little past 8 o'clock, which means we're about 7 hours in, something like that. And we've got big wraps at the end to do. Not quite sure how far up they are, but all appearances are that nobody has been up here for some time. So look at these boys coming in. Coming in hot. That's right.
It's like science class.
This.
Bright orange.
It goes back there quite a ways.
There.
Yeah, so man, what it looks like it does, the water probably is
Coming off.
Oh,
starting
yeah.
diverting when it gets high enough, it just goes back and then
Yep.
fills up.
Coming off the rock.
This is us getting back in. I might put one extra lay on if we're going to be in the water for a while.
You know what? I might give up.
Yeah, I got you, Dad.
Is this the second section?
No, it's like, I think it's the third.
Out of.
I don't know.
We are just going through a very curvaceous and sandy section. If we look up, you can just see blue sky up there. And then as you come down, this is your canyon. It's pretty awesome. So it is a wonder of the world. It is a wonder of the world. Apparently, Sam said nobody had come down this canyon until 1986 because there'd be dragons down here, or they had no idea. So sometimes it's a bit of a jump to get down, And sometimes, nicely done. But look at this. It just keeps going and going. This is high quality. Oh, I hear splashing. That means the camera's going away again. So what we've been doing is just throwing our bags down. And here goes. Nicely done.
Don't breathe, it's really bad smelling.
Most people are wrapping stuff like this, but we are not.
Oh my gosh.
Stinky?
Stinky.
Oh. Well, we're getting close. Max is about toast. He's sitting there. Sam's finally putting his harness on, getting ready for some of the big wraps. Carrie is gonna eat a little bit of extra food, and we've been coming. We've abandoned the canyon for a little bit. Going down, we have to wrap in. But if you look up, it's still looks like you're all right.
Yeah, it was a sick.
So, I think we've been wallowing through pots and through log strainers and literally trying to stay on top of big log jams as we go. And it's been rather exciting. And hopefully we'll get out while it's still good daylight, but we don't know exactly for sure. I see some clouds, which probably good with this far along.
I was hoping it lasts till September until the new phones come out.
Oh yeah, is there the iPhone 9?
Yeah.
Or I've heard.
Dropping.
I'm not sure, but I've heard rumors that it's gonna have like the screen of an X,
There he goes.
but like
Sliding in.
of like a 7 or an 8.
And appearing down there at the bottom. And it looks like we're heading out there. A couple old pitons.
Oh, it's recording.
Insane slide.
The crazy slide down to the deep pool. Ooh, ooh, it's kind of deep. It's a good film. Slide and push out, push out, push out. You gotta slide and push out, push out, push out. Carrie Sherman, what do you want to say? Huh?
I said thanks.
Better land good. Don't screw it up. Slide and push out.
Well,
motion.
That's okay.
Yeah, let's do it slow. We gotta do slow.
Oh, we already did it.
Huh?
So get in a good spot, put your bag down, and make sure it's not gonna fall. And then I'll get down here and talk to everybody
Hey, Dad,
really
is
quick.
Josh here?
Huh?
Josh?
Josh?
John.
I mean, no, yeah, his name's Josh. No, John.
We're getting ready for the long wrap. There's a couple different stations. Sam's going down with the long rope that I've been carrying all day.
It's a heavy bag to rappel with, man.
Sam is starting the first 200-foot descent. He's heading down to Emerald Pool. He's going to set up another 300-footer, and we're going to end up in next to that little body of water down there. He is now hanging on the wall. Up here, we've got Max and Carrie up above, and I'm just kind of on this little bird's nest thing here. I'm going to wait for him to get down, and then I'll go next. Here we are. Sam. Don't fall backwards. Good crow's nest. This is where we just come from.
200 feet?
Here's where we're heading down. Right there. So we came down. These are the two ropes in the last 300-foot rappel. When I came down, they tangled up terribly. And I just, it's like I was doing a crunch for, like doing hard sit-ups for a long period. We are pulling a rope. I'm going to get out from under. Pulling the rope down. Well, no more rappels. All we need to do now is march our way out of here. Find John. Whew! We are worked. It is 7:30. Yeah, that was a good trip. Keep pulling.
Oh, yeah. Sam, I'll start with the blue.
Emerald Pool.
Yellow? Yeah, okay.
Pull it through. It's going to start running in a minute. I think it might just fall clear on the rocks. It might even come out towards us, so heads up when it comes.
You want to get some water all the way to the top, guys.
Alright, it's coming down.
There we go, rope. Stay out of there.
Come on, baby. Oh, it's fast.
Perfect.
Woo! The beautiful violence of a 290-foot rope fall. Good job, Max.
Guys, we're live.
We are.
Out now.
Well, we are now walking down to the lodge, the Zion Lodge. We finished in about 11 hours, which is a little longer than Sam thought, but considering some of the obstacles we encountered, that was pretty good. There were so many moments where we were having to navigate weird, twisted wood that had just formed a blockade, having to climb over it, having to jump off of it, having to swim through it. And the last rappel, we had some issues with the pull line tangling with the other line, so it took a little time here and there. But I think a good squad. Well done, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Right people, right team. 3.
One other note about today was that we checked the weather forecast, and all the way up until kind of mid-afternoon time, 0% chance of precipitation, and then there was a 20% chance for later in the day. So some chance, but we got clear of the Slot Canyon And almost right when we got clear of the slot canyon, it started to rain. You do not want to be in a place like that when it properly rains, or even properly rains anywhere nearby. So hearing the thunder and lightning right now has been a bit of a relief to know that we're out of the slot canyon. So, boy, that's a trip though. You better be prepared with a ton of gear, read exactly what you need, and be extremely competent with improvising and working through. Oh, here's where the flash flood stuff happened.